kind of more of a mustardy color. Okay, so once again, I love this color. I like this color for my little thing. Let me show you where I'm going to be painting. So this right here is kind of like a little outlet. Like you put a little addition up there. I'm going to make it, thin it down with water. And we're going to add it to the ceramic. Right here. Let's see how this looks. Is this really what we're going for? It doesn't quite exactly match what I had in my head, but I think it's close enough. And since this is something that we don't have to worry about exact precision, this is going to be a-okay. And just a little tiny swipe down here at the bottom. Okay, there we go. Alright, I think that's good. Now here's something else I'm going to do. I'm going to take some of this stuff here. I'm going to mix this in right here. We get a lot more kind of brown in it. So if you can see the differences, this is what I just painted the outside of it. This is what I'm going to paint the window here. Now this is not the color that the window is going to stay. I'm sure you can hear that emergency vehicle. I always wondered why puppies howl when they hear emergency vehicles. My dogs go, ooh. Okay, so that's not the color that the window is going to stay, but I wanted to add kind of a base, I'll call it. I'll put it this way. In my head, that makes sense. I'm going to do the same thing down here. Like you see that little doorway there. The threshold. There we go. Oh, it looks kind of gold. Nah, never mind. Change my mind. Not golden. Okay, so now, and this is a wet cloth. I should have told you everything that I have set up. So I have a towel, like an actual towel here. It's a hand towel for my kitchen. And I put that down, and then I put a nice thick pad of paper towels that I can kind of change out as needed. And after I rinse my brush off, like this, I'm about to do right now, I then wipe it off on this padded towel. So that way, I don't know, I'm just not messing anything up. Mixing colors I don't want to mix. But I have this wet towel here so I can wipe my fingers off, or if I got some on my table or whatever. I also put down, I have my plate. I'm just using a plate. You can use a paper plate, container, whatever you have really that is okay to use like this. Then I put down just some standard paper, printer paper to protect my table. So, alright, so for the doorways, I'm going to do a darker brown. So let's get a dark brown here. That right there for the doorway. A little bit more dark to that. Okay. I'm going to add just a touch of white. So I do kind of want to tone it down a bit. I don't want this to look like a newer mushroom gnome house. No, our gnome is an established gnome. He's been in his gnome community for years. Yeah, so I just took a little dollop of white here. Take this like this. Just gonna add this to it. And see, it doesn't do much, but it does enough to just kind of mute it and make it look a little bit more weathered. Okay. And I am actually only going to thin this just a bit, because that looks like it's going to be kind of too thick to spread on the ceramic easily. Okay. We're going to take this and we're going to do the doorway now. There we go. Now it's kind of hard for me to make out the different details. But there's a flower vine here, and I kept the box nearby so I can kind of reference on the back here where things are, or where things are supposed to be. So it'll help me do a little bit better job. Going in with my brown, I'm going in his little interior part of his door. Okay. Flipping it upside down so I can see better. And I'm just doing the interior of his doorway once again. Okay, so now I'm going to take, actually let me first do this. Never mind. I'm going to take this a little bit, go a little bit over this a bit more. Get this a bit more darker. I want it to stand out from his siding. Okay, now I'm going to take some water. I'm going to thin this just a bit. And I'm going to add some of it to the interior of his thing here. Not a lot. I just kind of want to make it look a little bit worn and dirty. He's a little gnome. He's not taking his shoes off before he walks through that threshold. You know he's being dirty. Okay, and I figure I'd do a little bit. Trying to get some water here to knock a little bit of that off. So we see like where he maybe was hitting it with his foot. Okay, now that we have the water, we've got this brown that's watered down. Okay, you remember the window? We're going to go back over the window. I want to add a little bit darker window. So it's pretty cool that of this set, they give you such a wide array of, or a wider array of colors than most craft sets. I do a lot of these craft sets, and a lot of times they just give you the primary colors and like a white. So they'll do, the primary colors are yellow, blue, and red, and then they'll do like a white. Now, if you have the primary colors, you can make all of the secondary and tertiary colors that you would need, but it is nice when you have more to choose from. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with just a standard brown, nothing added to it. I'm going to go in here and paint the interior of the windows. Something I actually should have done prior to painting the exterior of the window. and we'll do the other two sides. Have it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wipe off some of this paint here because I'm going to have to mix some different colors. This is another thing that this rag is for. Mixing off my palette. Okay. All right, let's see. I think I'm going to do the brick part here first and the little cap, and then I'm going to move on to the actual cap of the mushroom itself. So, all right, let's do a brick color. Let's start with some red. I believe most bricks are red. A little bit more red. Then my water is kind of a brick color right now. I'm not quite sure if you can see my water, but let's see right here. This is my water. Definitely a brick color. I'm going to add some brown. You know, a lot. Just a little bit, a little dollop here. Definitely want red to be our main. Mix this here. Okay. It's nice and thin. Spread out. All right, now we are adding white. Not too much, but about as much as we added of brown. And this will help to make it more of a brick color. All right. That's nice and mixed in. And I'm using the entirety of my palette, but that's okay. I'm trying to do this in order, and so the mushroom cap is going to be red. So I feel like it's okay to go ahead and do the big old red. The red for the bricks. Okay, so once again, I'm going to wipe off a bunch of this. Mix it back in there. I'm going to get some water. Thin this baby down. I want viscous. Or different viscosity. Yeah, so let's bring this over here. We're going to see how this looks on our bricks. You know, it wasn't quite the color I was hoping, but I think it's going to be okay. Hmm? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do this side too now. I'm going to add just a touch more water, I think. Maybe. Yeah. I'll hold it like this. I have an angle that works best for me. So if you can, whatever project you're working on, always move your project versus you moving for your project. Reason being is you'll get a better result if you can make it to a point or get it to a point where it's easier for you to work on it or best working point for you versus you moving and getting into a position that you may not be able to work with. Okay, let's turn this around, and I am going to try to get a little bit up here. Let's see, I'm kind of connecting that. It's a little bit, it's not great, but oh well. You know, it's cute. Little tiny gnome chimney. Alright, so now I'm going to do this part. I don't know what it's called, but that part. And I think it would be a stone. I'm going to add a big old blob of brown. And I'm thinking we're going to add some blue. to our brown in equal portions. Will you make a color that I'm hoping you will make? Kind of a greeny color. Yeah, back here, precious water. That is closer to what I'm wanting. Just going to add a touch of white to it. Just a touch. And I mix it on top of the red on purpose. Just to let you know, because I wanted to get a little bit more of a, like a stone type brick feel to it. But like a different brick. I'm not sure. I'm not that great at describing my intentions. So our white, just a little swoopy swoop. Mix this all together. Okay. Yeah, that looks a little bit better to me. Work it in there. Now, what do you think of that color? Not sure. Let's test it out. I'm going to add it to this. Oh, I really like how that looks. Reminds me of like a river stone color. Now, of course, like I said earlier, you do this however you want to do it. So I like on the back of the box, and what kind of drew me to it was this super bright, colorful, because on the shelf, this is the part that was facing out. I saw this and I was like, oh, that's so cute. And I still think it's cute. Here we go. Doing another side of it. Doing our best. It's upside down like that. There we go. Now that's the stuff. Okay. Right. Okay. Check that out. It's a pretty nice color. Let's set it down. See how. Oh my goodness, you look so gorgeous. Okay. Now I'm going to add just some standard brown once again, but I'm going to use my standard brown, just the basic, not adding anything to this brown, to create the illusion of a chimney hole. You want there to be a way for his smoke from his fires to escape. What do you think? I think it's okay. All right, now I'm going to do his roof, and I think his roof, he would try to blend it into his mushroom, and I'm going to make his mushroom cap, I'm going to make that red. So what I'm going to do first, and I'm just going to use the, actually no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add some red to, some brown to the red, because I want to make it darker. Okay. Take this, I'll actually just add the red right to my pre-mixed brown for the top of the chimney. Okay. Go there. Scoop off some red from the top there. I'm going to mix this together. I'm kind of abusing my paintbrush right now. I'm being very rough on it. So I was using it as a scrub brush. It's not a scrub brush, it's a paintbrush. So I am sorry, paintbrush. You deserve to be treated better. Alright, so I like that. It's a very dark color. Okay. Thin it out just a little bit more. Start at a wider area, so I'm going to pick an area like this right here. There's not a lot around it, and I can test it out. Yeah, I like that color. That is a very pretty color.